Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Carmen, and if it's your first time here, welcome. You have come in a wonderful time. I am giving a tour of my living room and the plants that I have here in my living room. And if you enjoy this video, please do give it a like before you leave, and make sure that you subscribe also if you like these types of videos. Okay, so I figured we would start off right here in front of the patio window, and I've closed the blinds. Normally I have them open during the day to let as much light in as possible, but to minimize the amount of glare coming in for this video, I've pulled them and kind of left them slightly open, and hopefully that will be enough for you to see. So let's start off down here, and then actually this is Aglinima White Dalmatian. Almost forgot the name of it. And it's doing okay here. It's a little bit in dormancy right now from the winter. And it's actually done pretty well considering it's right by the door and would sometimes get some drafts. But we are warming up now, so I'm thinking that it's going to come out of dormancy here real soon. But it's lost minimal amount of leaves. I think maybe one or two. And it's doing real great. Aglinima White Dalmatian. And over here, this is my Euphorbia White Amic, and this is one of them. You probably remember that I had purchased a large 5-gallon pot of large Euphorbia. I have separated it. This is one that's inside, and I'll show you a picture of the other one that's outside that turned out to be all connected. It was one large branch that had 5 branches come off. So I put it back in the 5-gallon pot and put it outside, and I also put some mermaids and things like that. This is actually a cutting that I took of my rubber tree, and it's not been growing so much, I think because of the winter. But I think, like I said, now that it's getting warmer and brighter, I think it's going to start growing a little bit more. Then up here it has some shelving. This is my Jade Pothos cuttings that are still barely growing, but they're healthy. I think they're just really establishing their roots from, I got, these were a gift as cuttings. And here she is. The pot with the Haworthia on top, the head pot, face pot. This lady, the last time I showed her to you, we were thinking about naming her, and I asked you guys what we should name her. I got a lot of wonderful suggestions. You know, Henrietta, Carmencita, all sorts of wonderful suggestions. But there was one name that kept popping up, and that is Lola. And I think that's what I'm going to name her, is Lola. Now I have repotted the Haworthia limifolia that was in here. I took it out of, it was a plug that was surrounded with moss. So for the health of the plant, I took it out and put it in a 2-inch pot, and that way I can water it without risking any root rot. And Lola, or Lolita, is gonna go right up there. So that is the name that I've decided on. And like I said, her name showed up several times in the comments. So that's what I decided. And right above Lola is my Cebu Blue Pothos. These are cuttings that I received from a good friend in Florida. Ruthie, you know who you are. And they're doing good. Here is the big baby, the lady from Ipanema. This Philodendron Brazil. I have her here. I've moved her around, excuse me, several places because she's so big and wide that I didn't know where to put her, so I finally ended up putting her right here. So this is the lady from Ipanema. And if you know that song, it's a Brazilian song. She's doing great. I'm actually going to be taking some more cuttings because the last cuttings I took in my last repotting are going to my son and my mom. I was just on the phone with her this morning and she asked, well, where are my cuttings? I'm like, oops, Josh took them. So I got to do some for her. And this here is a Peperomia Frost. You probably, hopefully you saw the video of the collection of urban jungle and live trends plants that were sent to me. I love this pot that it's in. It's in really good condition. Haven't lost any leaves and looks nice and perky. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it has such a shimmer to it. It's just beautiful. Peperomia Frost, and that one is from the Urban Jungle collection. Now, coming over here next to Rosie's bed, have another Aglinema Wishes, and this one was in my plant room. I just moved her out here. I've been moving plants around as I get more. I need more room, or you know, they need different situations. So this one I moved out here. Have some Sanseverias here, my Sanseviere Fernwood Mikado. It's doing great. Right next to the Sensovaria Moonlight. The coloring on it is a little greener than I'd like it to be. And I think it just because it needs more light. Some of the leaves are coming in more moonlight or silvery. But some of the older ones you can see are turning a little bit greener. And I think that's just a tendency of this particular plant, the Moonlight, that it will get greener if it doesn't have enough light. And right next to it is where I place this, Rosie, do you mind? This beautiful Philodendron Birkin. Now, from the last time that I showed you this plant, it had the moss and it had a container. I took out the moss so the soil would have a chance to dry easier. And then I noticed that the pot it was in did not have any holes. So I simply took the plant out of that 6-inch plastic liner and put it in a 6-inch pot with holes. And I did not touch the soil or roots or anything because it was moist. So I'm just going to leave it there. And this way it has a better chance of the soil drying out better and not getting root rot. But it's just beautiful. The coloring on it, the lines. So let me move her so I can get in here. We'll go along the bottom. Have some Aglinemas here. Aglinima Cutlass. It's doing great. Look at the canes on that. What are you doing? Are you tearing up your sweater? What are you doing? You don't like the sweater? I don't know, maybe she doesn't like the sweater. So here is my Aglinema Cutlass. It's getting that cane look, which I love. It means that the stalk is really maturing and getting strong. My Aglanima Red Siam. It's getting some yellow leaves, but these are older leaves that are dying off. The coloring, though, is beautiful. I think I mentioned in a video before that these plants, especially Aglanimas, I let the leaf change color and die off naturally. Right next to it actually is a ICU survivor. This is Aglinema Silver Bay that I had gotten at Lowe's as a clearance plant. And it did really well in ICU. And I have it here. It's giving off new leaves, doing great. Aglanima Maria, my namesake. This one's doing really well also. I just love all my Aglanimas. They just, you know, I could forget about them and they'll do great. Really beautiful. Now here I have my Monsterette and Sonyi. And let me move her out a little bit. I'm not sure what's happening to her. She's got some crispiness going on there. She's lost some leaves and yellowing. She's got a few new ones coming in, but she's had a hard time this winter. So I'm hoping now in the spring I will be putting some worm castings in these plants in the next week, and that should give them a little bit of nutrition and get going for the spring. So that should help. Here I have another Sanseviera, my Sanseviera starfish. And this one, you can see right there, I accidentally knocked off one of the leaves. I was moving it, or no, I was moving something else, and the pot hit the leaf and knocked it right off. I have it in my propagation station, and I'm hoping to root that leaf. We'll see if it works, but I was so mad at myself because that one, it was just gorgeous, you know, the look of it, but it survived just fine. You see it's calloused over and it didn't hurt the plant at all. I was just mad at myself. So here is my Selassica Taniki. A little bit of dormancy, still not quite growing because of the winter, but I see it's got some things there. So I think it'll start coming out here soon. And then I have my bird of paradise right here. Back up a little bit. And the little bluebird pot, it's doing good. I had to put a bamboo stick there because it starts to get top heavy with this big leaf and it started to lean. So I put a bamboo stick there, but the next leaf should be coming out of this big one here. So I'll keep an eye on that bamboo stick does not get in the way of it. Now on the table here, I have this Syngonium. Take her out. The Syngonium here. Let's see. I think this was Maria. This is Singonia Maria, and she's doing a little recovery because I had forgotten to water her, and she looked bad. So I gave her good watering, and apologized to her, and now she's doing good, and some new growth under there. And she seems to like it up front here. I have another Syngonium in my ICU that is lighter in color, like an illusion, berry illusion type, and it's not doing good. I don't know what's wrong with it, but this one is doing great. So go figure, it's the same species, or the same genus rather, and this one, maybe it's because of the darker leaves, I'm not sure. Now I have a Monstera here, a little baby Monstera that I've been struggling with. Not sure what's wrong with her. There's actually two in here that are potted, two in here, and I potted them together. So, I mean, but look at this aerial root. I did give it a good chop right here. So we'll see if that snaps it back into place. Looks like it may need some watering too. The leaves are curling a little bit. So that's one of 3 Monsteras, and none of them are looking good. I don't know. That's supposed to be like the easiest plants to grow, but I have 3 of them, and none of them are happy. And then here is my Scindaptus exotica, and this is an urban jungle collection. This one I got at a grocery store. Look how it's trailing already. Giving off new growth there and here. This one I have repotted back into its same pot, but with the Della Tank soil, and it seems to be loving life here in this window, east facing window. Beautiful. And then my ZZ plant here, it's doing really good. Looks like it may need some water. The leaves feel a little bit thin. So that one's doing really good. It's got a new shoot coming out there. So that's great. This one's been growing like crazy. This is a recent repot that I did of a lemon lime philodendron. I know in the video I kept calling it philodendron neon, but it's a lemon lime philodendron vining, and it's lost a lot of its neon. So I'm hoping that the new soil and this new location will make it happy. And it's right next to the neon pothos, so maybe it'll get some inspiration from it on how to get a neon look. The neon pothos that from Urban Jungle, also I put it here, and it's still upright, so it'll be fine right here on this table, but it's just gorgeous. Here is the most recent repot, also the Hoya obovata that I put in some nice fresh soil, healthy soil. And then hopefully it'll like it here in front of this window. It's next to its cousins here, a small Hoya Crimson Princess that was just a little bitty cutting with 2 leaves when it was sent to me. Yuko, thank you so much. And look at it, it's just gorgeous. And here is a regular Hoya Astralis, the one without any variegation. I'll show you the leaves in a minute. It's got 2 leaves. It had 1 leaf here that it lost, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But it's doing okay. And then here I have the Hoya compacta, Hindu rope, some matte stickies. And this one's doing okay. I would like to see a little bit faster growth, but I'm getting the feeling that these are slow growers, these Hindu ropes. They're not as fast growing as like the Crimson Queen or Princess. And then here, I believe this is a Philodendron Emerald Red, I believe. And this one, this winter, slowed down in growth quite a bit, but it seems to be coming back now. And again, I'm going to be putting some worm castings in these, and hopefully that will help it along too. But it's doing good. I haven't really lost a whole lot of leaves. If I've lost anything, it was the littler ones, the smaller leaves. But it seems to be doing a lot of regrowth now. So that's good.
I want to give a big thank you to our sponsor today, Skillshare. Skillshare offers thousands of inspiring classes for creative and curious people just like you and me on topics including illustration, design, photography, video, freelancing, and much more. The classes are curated specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes so you can stay focused and follow wherever your creativity takes you. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. My most recent class was Mastering Cinematic Composition in Film and Videography with Jordy Vanderput. Now that may sound like a complicated subject, but he broke it down and was very engaging, so I really enjoyed it. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link in the description will get a free trial of premium membership so you can explore your creativity. So make sure you click on that link below.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the plants that are hanging here in front of my patio door. I've got the blinds completely closed now, and I'm hoping that that will block off some of the glare. This first one here is my Scindaptus pictus argureus, and this one I got from Hertz Gardens as a little 2-inch pot, and it's doing well. It's not a super fast grower. I just moved it to this location here. It was in the bedroom, and I just moved it to this location, so I'm hoping it'll grow a little faster because it is more light here. And then I have my Hoya Astralis Lisa. I had just repotted this one into some fresh soil. I think she'll do well. I just watered her yesterday because she was real flimsy leaves. And my Hoya Queen, Crimson Queen. It's the only queen I have. I have a couple of princesses, but only one queen. And she's doing okay. She's been in this pot for a little while because she was a very small cutting that was sent to me, but it's actually growing really, really well. Don't fuss a lot about her, and she just does her own thing up there like most queens do. And then just below that, I have this Hoya Lacunosa. And this one I got at Plant Stand of Arizona in this 6-inch pot. And when I repotted it into some fresh soil, I took, let's see, what was it? I took a smaller piece of it and put it into this one. And the smaller one seems to be growing faster than this one, so I'm not sure what the deal is there, but it's still growing nevertheless. So hopefully going into spring, it'll grow even faster. This is one of my favorites, Hoyapuba Calyx. Got this one at Plant Stand of Arizona too. It is in fresh soil. Last summer I did that, and it's got all these tendrils just growing everywhere, and they're kind of winding up the hanger there, and I'm hoping that it will get leaves on those. I have seen little buds, so I think it will be getting leaves on those tendrils soon. And next to that is my Hoya Princess, Crimson Princess, and I just repotted her into some fresh soil. So she looks a little bit dazed right now, but she's getting better. And I like that she has a nice long trail. That's one of the reasons I had picked this one in particular. She has this nice long trail. Now all of these Hoyas I do spray with the orchid fertilizer, and I think it does help them. You know, I've seen other YouTube plant parents do that, and I do think it helps my Hoyas stay healthy. So about every couple of weeks I'll just spritz the leaves with the orchid fertilizer, and I think it does help. And here is the Philodendron Brazil that I recently repotted. You probably saw that video. And this is the one that's going to my son. Look how pretty it is. These are just from cuttings of the big one, which I have to take more cuttings because these cuttings were meant for Grandma, but her grandson got to them first. So these are the ones that are here in hanging from this drapery rod in front of my patio door. Okay, so now over here underneath the counter to my kitchen, I have this brand new shelf that was sent to me, and I put it together myself. It is actually made of eucalyptus. So that's really cool. And you'll notice, yes, I know it looks a little wonky because there's supposed to be a shelf that goes across here, but I didn't put that in because I wanted this tall plant right here. So I risked it. But here I have mostly all Sansevierias. So let's take a closer look. Here, this is a Sansevieria. Oh gosh, and I lost the tag, so I forget the name of it. But it's a Sansevieria that a good friend of mine from California sent me, Debbie. And it is growing so much. It had some roots, but it's just taken off. I'll find out the name of it and put it on the screen here. And then these are my baby whale fins. They're doing so good. Look how healthy they look. Just love them. And then down here is my Sanseviere Zelonica. This was outside for quite a while, and I brought it inside when I noticed this. And I thought, okay, you've spent enough time outside, time to come inside. So the Zelonica is doing fabulous, lots of growth in there. And then my Sansevieria Fernwood Punk, I think it's called. but it grows straight up and it's doing good. Considering this, the roots were wrapped in like a foam. I had to take it apart to repot it. So it's doing great now. Right up here, this is a bird's nest fern, and it is Night Owl. Great name, great 80s band name, I think. So Sanseviere Night Owl. Ooh, you need to be dusted, honey. And it's doing good. This guy here is so cool. This is my Sanseviere Gracilis. This was also sent to me by Debbie. Look how well it's doing. The growth on it is amazing. In this head pot, looks really cool. My Sanseviere Samurai, which grows super slow. I think sometimes it's dead, but it's not. It's just a super slow grower. So that's fine. I'll leave it alone. And then on the very top, the only non-Sanseviere person up here, or plant up here, is this, let's see, Ficus ginseng bonsai. And I got this a couple years ago at, it's got a dead leaf there, at IKEA. And it got spider mites. And I thought I was going to lose it. Lost everything, lost all its leaf. I treated it. And then little by little, leaves started popping up. Just a couple months ago. And I put it out here and little leaves are growing. Now, right now, I have this little lamp with a nice bright bulb in it that shines down. I need to fix this. I need to get a brighter bulb and maybe a lamp that with an arm or something. But it works for right now. And that is why I have mainly all Sansevieres here, because they take low light and they'll be able to take the amount of light that this little lamp gives off. I do have one last one that I put here. And this is my Anthurium flamingo plant. This was a Christmas decor that I did, and it still has these leaves. They look like they're plastic, but it still has them. And I have it in a milk glass container here in its original pot. Water it when it's dry, and it's hanging in there. So does okay. I mean, it's just so dark over here in this corner. My kitchen is like a cave. So yeah, I need to do something better with that light there. Well, there you have it, friends. Those are my indoor plants for the living room. I am getting ready to do other tours of my plant room and bedroom. And finally, the last one will be my balcony. I am in the process of getting some other plants for the balcony and rearranging some things there, so that's why I haven't done that yet. But if you enjoyed this video, friends, please do give it a thumbs up. That helps me out so much. And if you want to see more videos like this, I'm going to put one up here that is the last tour that I did of my balcony. You can watch that one until I get the new one out. And I will see you in the next video, friends. Have a blessed day. Thanks so much for visiting with me today. Bye-bye now.